November 21st, 2023 regular meeting of the Washtenaw County Board of Road Commissioners. Our office coordinator, Aaron Smith, will describe how our meetings operate, how to access the agenda packet, and how people may participate remotely. Aaron.
Thanks, Chair Fuller. There are multiple ways to make public comment during today's board meeting, whether you're joining us in person or virtually. If you're here in person and would like to make public comment, please fill out the sign-in sheet now. If you're joining us virtually, we'll ask you to raise your hand at the appropriate time in the agenda. If you're joining us virtually and are experiencing technical issues with audio or video during the meeting, submit a comment in the chat feature and our communications manager will help you troubleshoot. The audio and video of this meeting is being recorded, and a link to the recording will be posted to wcroads.org in the next few days. And there are printed copies of today's meeting agenda on the table near the front door and is also posted on our website. And now I'll turn it back over to Chair Fuller.
Thank you, Aaron. I now call this November 21st, 2023 regular meeting to order and ask Aaron to call the roll.
Chair Barb Fuller.
Present.
Vice Chair Rod Green.
Present.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Present.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Present.
And Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Present.
And then the following directors are in attendance: Managing Director Cheryl Siddle, Managing Director Matt Washtenaw, Director of Engineering and County Highway Engineer Brent Schlack, Director of Operations Adam Lake, and Director of Finance and IT Dan Ackerman.
Thank you. Please join us in reciting the Pledge of Allegiance. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. May I have a motion to approve the agenda as presented? So move.
Support.
Any discussion? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
And Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes. The agenda is approved unanimously as presented. We have two sets of minutes to deal with today. May I have a motion to accept the board meeting minutes of November 7th, 2023 as presented on pages 3 through 14.
So moved. Second.
Any additions, deletions, corrections? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
And Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes. The board meeting minutes of November 7th are approved without correction. Next, may I have a motion to accept the closed session minutes of November 7th, 2023 as presented at your seats. The copies of these closed session minutes have been placed at the commissioners' desks.
Madam Chair, I move to accept the closed session minutes of November 7th, 2023.
Support. Any additions, deletions, corrections? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCullum.
Yes.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
And Commissioner Barb Fuller.
Yes, the closed session minutes of November 7th are accepted as presented. Next item is public comment. This is the time set aside on the agenda to receive comments from the public. This is not intended to be a period for dialogue. Each person will be allotted 3 minutes to address the board. Aaron will explain how people may be recognized to offer comments.
Since this is a hybrid meeting with both in-person and virtual attendees, we will take turns between those attending in person and virtually. For virtual attendees, we have provided some instructions on the screen on how to participate and make public comment. If you're attending this meeting virtually and would like to make public comment, please raise your hand now. If you dialed into the meeting from your phone, you can raise your hand by dialing *9. Our communications manager will unmute virtual participants with raised hands one at a time and will announce your username or last 4 digits of your phone number when it is your turn to speak. Please share your name and address before beginning your comments. And then for our in-person attendees, we will start with those who have signed up on the sign-in sheet. If you didn't sign in, you're still welcome to make comment. I'll notify you when it is your turn. And at this time, there's no one that would like to make public comment.
Thank you, Aaron. We will move on to written communications appearing on pages 15, 16, and 17 of the packet. Commissioners, do you wish to draw our attention to anything? Seeing none, and since there was no public comment, we will move directly to new business, the consent agenda. May I have a motion to approve the consent agenda as presented? Items 1 through 11. Background on these items appear on pages 18 through 47.
So move.
Support.
Any questions about any items? Seeing none, Aaron, if you would, please.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum.
Yes.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs.
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green.
Yes.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
And Commissioner Burt Fuller.
Yes, the consent agenda items 1 through 11 are approved as presented. We have no action items to consider today. We will move directly into reports. Tiffany, do we have any county commissioners with us today? Thank you. Next up, we will go to the report of the road commissioners, starting with Commissioner Green.
Yes, I attended the pancake breakfast that was held. I enjoyed it very much. That's the end of my report.
Commissioner Smurs,
I attended pancake breakfast for a little bit, and other than that, I have nothing else to report.
Commissioner McCollum,
Yes, Madam Chair, I attended the virtual public ride 2024 service improvement meeting. And on November 9th, I attended the Washtenaw County Road Commission breakfast for staff. And I want to thank all the staff who helped put it together, and especially to Tiffany Oliphant for an awesome breakfast, and congratulations to Cheryl's retirement. On November 14th, I attended the Washtenaw County Parks and Rec and Road Commission joint meeting. We talked about the white paper with Administrator Gregory Deal. And also it was recommended that Washtenaw County Parks and Rec Commission award the engineering work to Stantec for the B&B Trail, Barton Dam to Maple Road. And that's the end of my report.
Commissioner Yamas,
I completed cyber training on November 7th. I attended the pancake breakfast and recognition for employees on November 9th, which was great, and congratulating Cheryl on her retirement. I attended on November 14th, the Washtenaw County Parks and Recreation, Washtenaw County, sorry, lost, WCRAC and Washtenaw County Road Commission at 2 o'clock, listening to the white papers. I'm sorry, I lost the initials of that. Presented by Greg Dill. It was very interesting. And that is it, besides reading all of the legislative updates provided to us.
all right, thank you. My report first, a reminder to the commissioners to complete the cybersecurity training in the next few days. We need that completed in the month of November. A second reminder to review the Washtenaw County Road Commission travel policy. Please be prompt in submitting requests for reimbursement, ideally within 30 days after the expenses incurred. On November 9th, I participated in the Washtenaw County Road Commission Employee Appreciation Breakfast along with everybody else. It was amazing, and the name tags were greatly appreciated. That's an obsession of mine. It was a particularly meaningful and celebratory event. On November 14th, I too attended the joint session with the Washtenaw County Parks and Recreation Commission and the Washtenaw County Board of Road Commissioners. County Administrator Greg Dill was asked questions about the Washtenaw County Board of Commissioners plans for placing the renew and restoration of the 4-year 0.5 mil road levy before the voters of Washtenaw County at the 2024 state and local primary election. The joint session was attended by all 5 of the Washtenaw County Road Commissioners, Washtenaw County Managing Directors Siddle and McDonald, County Commissioners Scott, Robbie, and Sanders, and many others. There was no clear indication of the Board of Commissioners' intentions on this matter. On November 15th, I attended the Watts Policy Committee meeting. On November 20th, at the invitation of West Willow resident Road Commissioner Joanne McCollum, I had hoped to attend their neighborhood association's annual dinner, but was unable to. Please note that the revised 2023 board meeting schedule on page 31 of what was the working session packet, I believe, indicates a couple of meetings that were traditionally on Tuesdays are being moved to Wednesdays to accommodate County Road Association of Michigan educational sessions. Our 2024 proposed meeting calendar, which will be considered at our annual meeting on December 6th, not the 5th, on Wednesday, December 6th, accommodates both County Road Association Highway Conference in March of next year and the Legal Issue Symposium in December later that year as well. That concludes my report. Looking to the managing director to issue her report and that of her staff.
All right, I'll start by asking if there's any questions with respect to any of the reports submitted by staff.
I did not have it.
All right, obviously staff's been very busy on the discussion items that we had this morning, both the 2023 and 2024 budgets, as well as millage. One thing that I did want to share is that last Tuesday, McChrysip, which is our liability pool that we belong to, hosted a defensive driving and truck rodeo, which was a lot of fun for our newer staff. We specifically aimed that at staff with approximately 1 to 3 years of service. So a lot of videos and some hands-on in the morning, but the afternoon was really a lot of fun to watch them drive the obstacle course. And even at the end of the day, we got Emma Sharp, our communications associate, into one of the trucks. And so I said maybe she's one we'll be recruiting for another driver at some point in the future, although we don't want to lose her in her current role either. So just a lot of fun for staff and something that we will continue to explore as an organization.
All right.
Unless you have questions for me, I'm happy to hand it over to Matt back to now.
All right. Mr. McDonough.
Yes, I just wanted to mention the draft 2024 board meeting schedule presented this morning. There was an error. The January 2nd meeting should have been Wednesday, January 3rd will be our first meeting in 2024. The second is recognized as the holiday, so the office is closed on the 2nd. So with that, we'll go ahead and present, have Brent Schlack present the engineering report.
Hi, good afternoon, Brent Schlack, Director of Engineering. Really, we don't have much to report within engineering. We are just cleaning up 23, trying to finalize those projects and looking forward through our 24 through 26 projects. We did open up Textile Road that did get paved. That would be one project that did get completed through our permits. That was through the Pittsfield Township project. I did want to recognize, we did receive an award through the Asphalt Pavement Association of Michigan for our Carpenter Road project this past year. So they have a holiday banquet coming up on December 7th, where they'll be we'll be receiving this award.
Congratulations.
Thank you. Aside from that, that's our report for engineering.
Questions of our Director of Engineering? Thank you.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Next up, we have Dan Ackerman, our finance director.
Good afternoon again, board. Dan Ackerman, Director of Finance and IT, and I kind of yammered on for about 2 hours earlier, so I have a pretty quick report. First of all, I want to say thank you for the discussion this morning on the budget. And when you present something like that and there's crickets in response, that always makes you worried. I mean, I guess you could be doing the best job ever explaining something and there are absolutely no questions, or maybe people don't even know where to start. So, so I appreciated the dialogue, not only in the PowerPoint, but the actual report itself. So keep them coming. If you have other questions, let me know. You know, chances are if you have a question, others have the same question so they can learn from it. So thought it was a good discussion. Barb, I wanted to have all the answers to your questions or the board's questions from earlier.
But you had lunch instead?
Well, and then Jamie in finance said, oh, we've got almost $300,000 in checks. We probably want to take that to the bank. So I did lunch and deposit in between and only had a chance to address one of your questions, which actually I will take zero credit because Adam Lape, Director of Operations, actually provided it for me. Barb, you had asked about the road commission's contributions for the township matching program. Going back to 2020 and being the overachiever that Adam is, I have it back to 2010, but I could just go from 2020 like you asked, and
Okay,
I can go further back if you'd like. So in 2020, the road commission's contribution was 1.3 million.
okay,
2021 was 1.3 million. 2022, it increased to 1.5 million. 2023 was also 1.5 million. And in 2024, that was increased to $2 million. Again, this is the road commission's contributions to the township matching program. Like I said, I can go all the way back to, I think he's got 2010 or further, so.
I want to know
if
what
you-
2010 was. If you've got it, I want to know.
$699,972.00.
Interesting. Okay.
And I told Adam I didn't audit this, so, and I didn't think the board would either. So, but I think, you know, it's probably good enough, so.
Thanks.
Yep,
Thank
so
you.
at least answered one of your
Yes.
questions. Besides that, finance, you know, we've been busy crunching numbers for the budget, and obviously year-end processing is near and dear to us. We've talked about timing of our pays with holidays and everything else, so we have a good plan. But we'll continue to communicate and make sure that we stay on top of things. And obviously then we have a audit to get ready for. We got to roll our books over, so it's a real busy time for finance. IT, Barb, you stole my thunder a little bit. I wanted to mention the cybersecurity training. As an organization, we're about 70% complete. And just a reminder, there are really two things you need to work on. There's the training with the quizzes at the end, and then there's the phishing exercise. So make sure you're doing both of those. And if you have any questions, just reach out to IT. Both I think are excellent. I've gone through all the training. We continue to get feedback from staff. It's positive, and you know, I think it's important to go through this every year. So I don't know if there's any questions on that, or again, if you have a question, if you've completed everything or not, just reach out to IT and we can let you know. I believe it's also sending reminders to folks too, if you haven't completed something.
Okay.
We also, last week, IT met with Dean from Applied Innovation, our managed service provider. Always a great meeting with them, and I think it's important to meet with them periodically to make sure we're on the same page. If they have concerns or we have concerns, technology is always changing, so it's good to touch base with them. And certainly Chris is in touch with them on a regular basis, but it's good to just have a sit down and go over things. And we talked a little bit about a potential new server, which we shared with the board. That's something that we're going to be looking into possibly for next year. Just some sort of options that were provided, and lots of questions on that. So we're still kind of in the information gathering stage, I guess I'd refer to it as. And a lot of the meeting was talking about security. And we've made leaps and bounds, getting Chris Quinter here and just really focusing on security, multi-factor authentication, all the things that we've implemented. You think, you know, we're in a great place, and we are, but it was just amazing. They had a spreadsheet of things, of other recommendations that they have as far as making things even more secure. So Chris is kind of going through all that to see what things make sense to implement or what things are possible to implement. So, but I'm impressed that we're always, you know, I feel like we're in a pretty good spot, but you know, securing everything is something that should always be first and foremost. Things are always changing. So if there are other things that we can do that make sense to make our network more secure, to make all of our users secure and all the data secure, then we should at least look into it. So like I said, it was this huge spreadsheet. It was quite impressive, actually. And then the last thing I have, Chris is going to be meeting next week with some Windows 11 testers. And we're looking forward to moving forward with that. You know, it's inevitable, unfortunately, at some point. So, and again, Chris, Josh, and I have been on Windows 11 for a while, and there's been very minimal issues. So that's definitely a positive, but we want to make sure all of our software doesn't have any issues when upgrading. And that's my report, unless there's any
Questions
questions.
for Dan? Commissioner McCollum.
When you say minimal issues, what's that?
Okay. So one thing in Windows, I'm gonna get kind of in the weeds.
Okay.
In Windows Explorer, when you right click on something, usually it'll have a drop down menu and it'll say copy, and then you go somewhere else and it'll say paste. Well, Microsoft, and they probably spent millions of dollars on this. Now, instead of saying copy, there's a little icon that you click on. But you're so used to the drop down, you're like, wait, how do I copy again? So that is just, and I wouldn't even call it an issue, I guess. I would just say that it's something that takes getting used to. But usually, Chris was just saying that when Microsoft makes that change, it's not going to go away. So there's going to be, so instead of issues, I guess more getting used to. But we do want to make sure there's no compatibility issues with RoadSoft, with Precision, with all the products that we use. So that's one thing. Another thing, when I'm in Precision, and this might be for everything, I'm not sure, but when I go to print something, usually there's a print preview that shows you what you're printing. Well, it doesn't show that. So I think that might be an issue with Windows 11. But anyway, so we're looking at any little nuances or anything that could trip people up or looks different. So there's a lot, but but there's been minimal, for instance, if I try to go into Precision, our financial software, it runs just fine. I can run reports. I can do everything I need to do. It's just some little nuances for now, but we'll know more once we get our testers going, and it's a nice cross section of the organization. So we want to make sure we hit all of our software products to make sure there aren't any major problems. So there hasn't been any major issues yet.
Anything else? I have a question with respect to the right to work reversal, the so-called right to work legislation that reversed that, the impact on your department with respect to dues, union dues being automatically deducted.
Certainly, that's something that we would take direction from managing director and human resources. And obviously, if there are any changes, we would be more than ready to implement that. But sounds like Cheryl maybe has more.
Well, is all I was going to say is we continue to follow up with our labor council to understand all the impacts of the reversal of the right to work legislation, so that we are in full compliance when everything takes effect.
And I think that's in February sometime, as I
That is
recall.
correct.
Okay.
That's good to put on our radar. HR is really good about, giving us a heads up if there are other things if there's changes we need to make. And obviously we need to communicate it to the organization. So
Right.
You're right, there could potentially be some things there, but I guess to be determined at this point.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Okay, any other questions?
I didn't have any other questions.
Great.
Thank you, Dan.
Yeah, thanks.
Finally, we have Director of Operations, Adam Blake.
Good afternoon, Adam Lape, Director of Operations. For the operations update, just kind of jump into it and echo some of the things we were able to produce with the local road program. My staff is pretty good. They're exceptional, actually, what they do. So getting that stuff for Dan was pretty simple. We've had that. It's all been in motion for many years. It was a simple spreadsheet just to kind of move that information on. So Tiffany Lobosall, she manages our numbers, so to speak. So she keeps all that stuff populated so we can go back about as far as, 12 and 11, 2010, 12, 11 is when it starts to get a little fuzzy because we didn't have that many documents electronic. But within a few moments, we could go back to the copy scan things and see back into the 90s if we need to.
Shouldn't have told me.
No, well, we can look. It only took me about 3 or 4 minutes. Yeah, I was done before he was done answering the question during the working session. So it finds its way. So also on that note today, there were 2 township agreements put before you. That's really highlighting our efficiencies and everything that the team is doing in operations engineering to save money, do things the most efficient way we can. We're already working on 2024 now. And so I think that's a really cool thing. I think it's a great job by everyone. So I just want to kind of make that note. Those 2 agreements are using efficiencies recognized, so leftover funds from 2023 to prepare us for 2024 work. So that in turn gets, the horse in front of the cart, but the cart really close to the horse, gets us ready. So as soon as the weather breaks next spring, we can continue on and keep moving the 2024 program. So we're not waiting till potentially July to get some agreements. We'll have some work in front of us that we can fill in. With that being said, the material storage building, which is something that It's taking as long as we would like it to. Still ongoing. They're preparing the grade now to place concrete, so pour the concrete on the external of the building, so the dry area and all of that. Within the next week or so, gonna balance the weather. We have all the winter items needed to place concrete in the winter. So we'll adjust the mix with additives and things like that to make it beneficial to and capable to pour in the cold months. So we'll get that going. During that time also, they're delivering lumber now. The steel for the roof will be here in the next few weeks. So we're still doing pretty good with our end of December deadline, we feel. So kind of balance a little bit on Mother Nature, but as for right now, everything's been available. The contractor is really flexible. They're gonna prepare the grade, work on the roof. When the weather's nice, they'll climb off the roof and place the concrete and then climb back on the roof when it's kind of windy and cold. And so we're getting that project done. So all is good with that. Look for updates on that, but other than that, that's all I had for you today, unless you had any other questions.
I have a question about these second agreements.
Yep.
One's Freedom, one's Lodi. Were those savings that were realized in those townships?
Mhm.
Okay.
Yeah, so from the original, so the first agreement for
Mhm,
both of those, in the case of both of those, the first agreements, we recognize enough savings that we're able to, with the savings, approach the township if they wanted to do more work, and that's how we're able to continue that on.
Okay. So it's not savings from,
No, it's no one's
Township
else.
being-
Yeah, it's all
yeah.
their allocated
Okay.
funds. That's what also makes it really easy and really quick to get them to want to commit to that. And so they've already kind of accounted for that. So it's easy to get the yes, so to speak.
perfect. Okay. Thank you.
All right.
Did you have your hand up? No. All right. All right.
Thank you.
Thank you, Adam.
Yeah, Adam. That
Anything?
concludes our report.
All right. All right. I want to note, thank you, Commissioner McCollum, that Commissioner Sanders has joined us. I will make an executive decision to say, Caroline, anything for us? Anything you want to ask, share?
I want to say happy Thanksgiving. I'm sorry I missed your 9 a.m., but I'm actually on vacation, if that's such a thing, between two jobs. And I just forgot about you. Sleep was more important. But I'm just wishing you all a happy Thanksgiving. It was good to see you, those of you that were at the dual meeting last week. And I don't have anything else to add to you.
All right. I'd
Appreciate your
just
hard
like to
work.
mention to you, Commissioner, that our working session was devoted to the 2023 and 2024 budgets. Some really impressive budget background documents that were created by staff to help us understand what goes into the numbers that are in our budget. So when you're back from Tahiti or wherever you are, and have the time, I really encourage you to take a look at those documents. They're amazing and give you a great overview of what gets done here, and they're very transparent. So other
I
than
will
that,
do
have a
that. I
wonderful-
am scheduled. Thank you. I'm scheduled to meet with Cheryl sometime in the immediate next couple of weeks. And I will review that. If I have any additional questions, I'll bombard her when I see her at that time.
Anything for the commissioner? Anyone here?
Madam
Commissioner
Chair,
McCollum.
I just want to say happy Thanksgiving to you, Commissioner Sanders, and I hope you have a good turkey day.
Thank you. You all be safe and enjoy your families.
Thank you. Thank you, Caroline. All right. And with that, if I can point out to everyone, please, what's coming up. We've got tomorrow's chat session with Commissioner Smers. The 29th is Commissioner Green, and December 6th is Commissioner Yamas. Also, once again, reminding that our December meeting is going to take place on the 6th, which is a Wednesday at 1 o'clock, but this is a change. It's not Tuesday, this first meeting in December. It is the 6th, and this is our annual board meeting. So with that having been said, If there's no further business to come before this board, I will entertain a motion to adjourn.
Make a motion to adjourn.
Support. If you would, please, Aaron.
Commissioner Jeff Smurs,
Yes.
Commissioner Joanne McCollum,
Yes.
Commissioner Rod Green,
Yes.
Commissioner Gloria Yamas.
Yes.
And Commissioner Burt Fuller.
Yes, we are adjourned. Thank you, everyone.